Morning everybody, KrisBiker here, and it's the first day of the year that I've worn winter gloves. It's actually the first day for 2 years that I've worn these winter gloves. You can tell as well they've shrunk, feel very tight. That on my hands have got fat, which is a bit weird. 0 on the thermometer monitor before I set off, so I'm keeping an eye out for the old frosty patches just in case, and leaving the Z-Thou in the garage because, you know, if there are frosty patches and nowhere to drop it, this is the one to drop. Sorry, Strawberry. And I'm just recording a bit of a test vlog, really. So this one might not go out. I did this the other day as well. I haven't actually gone through the footage in detail yet, but I did the other day as well. New helmet, so camera remounted, and obviously then you're trying to sort out the angles. And I recorded one the other day, and the angles were quite off. Very jaunty, kind of riding along like that. It's Remembrance Day today, time when we remember all of the soldiers that have fallen in battle through the many wars. We have far too many wars, and we always seem to be on the brink of the next one. I thought I'd come out on the bike before the silence at 11 o'clock and just have a bit of a ride around. I'm going to drop off something at Tosh's, a nice present that's come from KrisBiker, vlogger at the other side of Europe, the eastern side of Europe. It was a lovely chat, and I thoroughly recommend you watch his videos. Unfortunately, if you're like me, you might not be able to understand them, because I suffer from that thing of the English that generally we only know one language, and many of his vlogs aren't in the language I know, being English. I say we only know one language. I think some people struggle with, with the English as well. But on the Remembrance Day thing, one of my very early vlogs was about Remembrance Day and about how people were basically disrespecting it. Disrespecting the poppy emblem and what have you. And just generally I wasn't very happy with something that had happened at the time. Quite a few years ago now, and I can barely remember what I said last week, never mind what I said a few years ago, but I remember that distinctly that I did do a video about it. And I suppose I'm going to mention it again because there's a weird thing happening at the minute that I've noticed, and it's about the poppy again. Now, if you want to wear a poppy, great. If you don't want to wear a poppy, fine. If you want to wear a red poppy or a white poppy, remember that thing? For what I think the white poppy is something like remembering those that have died, but also pointing out that you're a pacifist and you don't agree with war. I remember that got a lot of shtick. But wear it, don't wear it, wear a slightly different version. I'm not particularly convinced by these bejewelled ones that people are wearing. I'd kind of prefer that people wore one that didn't cost a lot of money but gave the same amount of money to the charity. That would be better than, you know, everyone wants everything to be personalised and different nowadays, so now there are millions of people wearing the bejewelled poppies that all look exactly the same. But there has been something going on this year that I've noticed come up a few times, and it's hit a news website as well, and that's people disrespecting people, or in fact not disrespecting, but plain out verbally attacking people for not wearing a poppy. So it's come up a few times. There have been people on the television and they've not had a poppy in their buttonhole or pinned to a dress or whatever it might be, and people have absolutely slated them for it, saying that these people should be banned from television and much, much worse. People saying that they should be beaten up for not wearing a poppy. It's kind of the ultimate irony, really, isn't it? If you go back to, you know, probably the biggest of the wars, the world wars, you've got fighting against fascism going on. Fighting against fascism, fighting so that people in the future, and the future being now obviously, the future back then is now, fighting so that people in the future didn't have to live under a fascist regime, didn't have to have people threatening them with punishments and pain and death and torture and what have you for not believing the right things, not agreeing with the state, not agreeing with other people. And here we are now, where we've reached the point where if you don't wear a poppy to remember the people fighting against fascism, you're attacked by people in an almost fascistic way. Is that a way? Is that a way? Coming back to my people not knowing English. Fascistic. This present from KrisBiker. I should have mentioned what it was, really, shouldn't I? My brain doesn't work in the way I would necessarily like it to, so I do get distracted quite easily. But he sent me a present, and he sent Tosh one as well. I first came into contact with KrisBiker when he didn't have a channel, and it was when I was doing that bike up with Tosh, doing up the TDM, and he was looking at restoring a TDM as well. And he's got a series of videos on his channel of him restoring it. Well worth a watch. Those ones are in English too, so if you are as ignorant as me when it comes to foreign languages, then you know, go and watch them in English. He found us through that and was chatting with us, and then he started doing up his TDM as well, and it was quite entertaining, us kind of swapping information about the TDMs and looking at each other's videos and seeing what we could do. And I think what I particularly liked about him was he's definitely got the English sarcasm off to a T. I remember he did one video and he said he'd got special guests of Richard and Tosh, and I thought, well, I don't remember going there to video this, but maybe I did. I don't remember what I did last week. So, but he had our printouts of our faces on sticks, and he was doing remarkably accurate impressions of us. Hello, I'm Tosh. Hello, I'm Richard. And he's had some t-shirts done, and he said, do you want a t-shirt? I thought, oh, thanks very much. So he sent us a couple of KrisBiker t-shirts, and I will put a picture of said t-shirt in this video for you to have a look at. So thank you very much, Chris. Very, very nice of you. And hopefully we'll get a project to do again at some point, Tosh and I, and have to do at least one episode of that with a KrisBiker t-shirts on. Going to be heading down the old 100% road very shortly. I think it's the first time I've done it on this bike. Those who haven't watched my videos from the beginning won't know what the heck I'm talking about, but it was a road that I used to go down quite a lot. It's on the way to my mother's, depending on which way I go. But I called it the 100% road because for a very long time, every time I went down it, I saw something stupid. Either nearly an accident, somebody pulling out in front of somebody, you know, something generally quite silly would happen down that road, and I was always amazed, somehow, always amazed that it happened over and over again. But I suppose the amazing part wasn't that it happens a lot, because you get roads like that, don't you, where a lot of silly things happen, but it was that it was literally every time for ages. And there was one day I said, right, I'm going to stop this, and I went up and down it 6 times and saw something stupid every time, and then gave up in the end on going up and down it, because the last one was a cyclist nearly getting taken out, and I thought, well, yeah, I'm not superstitious, but maybe I'm tempting fate at this point. But it's this road up here. Not long ago, somebody was killed here by, again, just stupidity. It was a lorry driver driving along this road, just not paying attention. And there's a pedestrian crossing, and there was a woman pushing a pushchair, I think it was, or leading a child across the road. And it just mowed them down, dragged them underneath the lorry. Very, very not nice. Oh, that's an understatement again. But they were talking about, caught me horn again, stupid backwards horn and indicator switches. They said they were going to do something about it, actually try and make the road a bit safer. So far though, it seems that their memories fade quicker than mine does, and they've just not bothered. But it's this road here, probably alright this time in the morning. There's not that much traffic down here today. Anyway, I'm actually going to pop into my Mama's and Papa's, see if I can have a cup of tea and warm up a bit. So I'll sign this one off, because it's just up the road here. So thank you for watching, if indeed you still are. Crystal Maze reference for anybody who watches Crystal Maze. Thanks for watching everyone, ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.